The Beef and Barnzy Show, brought to you by Bowlersmart.com, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. By Lightning Strikes Bowl, home of Bowlers Mart Pro Shop. By Platinum Ford, drive the difference. By Fire Lake Bowling Center, 24 state-of-the-art lanes. By True Grit Coatings, drive on our passion. By Road to Grip, king of them all. By 900 Global, striking worldwide.
Good morning and welcome back to the Beef and Barnzy Show. I'm Barnzy, joined by the inimitable Beef Stew. How are things this morning in Pflugerville?
Weather's a little overcast. Apparently we're gonna have rain and shit. Which is not great.
Damp here
when you want to leave.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was chatting to Chris last night, and we were coming up with a something to chat about this morning, and we kind of, I think, kind of a cool thing the PBA has done is this top 25 of the 2000s, basically. Top 25 of the last 25 seasons. And Nolan Hughes, who is the
he's PBA's media guy these days.
Yeah, PBA media, not really social media, just all-round media.
Has
come up with a point system. We can debate that a little bit when we see the list. But, you know, as with all of these things, let's criticize him for it because, you know, why not? Because our list would be so much better if we'd made all this time to do it. But on a serious note, he did a point system, and the point system, I'm just reading it off right now, is 1 point per top 5 finish in a standard event. And part of the reason why this is going to be a little controversial is because I don't think that top 5 finish is like as meaningful as we kind of think it is. So anyway, just a sec. Then we got 2 points for a top 5 finish in a major, 5 points for a standard title, 7.5 for a major. That's another one that I'm a bit like, And then 15 points for player of the year. So now, a couple of things to bear in mind. This is the last 25 seasons. So so you might have seen that on the current list, Pete Weber just came in at 11. Now everybody's going to go, oh, the Pete Weber. Well, because Pete Weber was amazing before the year 2000 also.
Yeah.
As well as being really good after the year 2000. So his career kind of gets cut in half. So Parker Bone, another one who kind of, probably his best season of his career, I think, was 99. So he loses a bunch of titles and a player of the year with that.
Yeah, it was still a little surprising.
So
but the lefties in general
are well represented.
Yeah, but of that crowd, like Couch and Parker especially, didn't have the volume of shows after 2000 that they had before that.
So that leads us into the current list. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the list, and then I'm going to tell you the 10 people who are left because it's fairly obvious who's left. And then we'll have a debate without like going through. It's not like I've researched like every single number because the top 5 finishes is a little bit difficult to track anyway, because generally people would consider that TV shows, but some of those tournaments, that isn't really a TV show.
We don't know if that's what they counted or not.
I believe they counted just top 5 finishes because he just went through. And then, of course, if you lose in the top 8 of a tournament, you could be 5th or you could be 8th. So getting credit for that seems a little strange also.
Yeah, if that's what they did, but we don't know if they did. So
I'm kind of looking at some of the numbers, I kind of feel that way. But anyway, whatever.
Got it.
So Chris Prather came in at 25, Rhino at 24, Ryan Schaefer came in at 23. He had the least titles on the list, but Ryan was a show machine. Marshall Kent, last year obviously was a big help for Marshall, but Marshall's made a ton of shows in his career.
Ironically, Schaefer's year with the most shows was 99, so that didn't even count.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. What separated Schaefer and really helped him was he had 13 top 5 finishes in majors in the 2000s.
Wow.
Which is a lot. I believe there's only one person on the list who has more. And that person, ironically, the two people on this list with the most top 5 finishes in the majors have one major between them. Wes is the other person.
Really?
Has an absolute truckload. He has, what is it? 14 major top 5s. And
wow,
I can recall at least 4 seconds in those top 5s. He isn't like, he wasn't making top 5s by scraping the 5th spot very often. So
how many seconds? I don't know if there's that many at the US Open, but there's a lot at the rest of them.
Yeah, the World Championship seemed to be the one where he
really made it a lot.
Managed to come second a lot. And then we go on a bit of run of lefties. Simonelli, who was pretty dominant, like he was winning a lot when he was winning, type of deal. Scroggins, Couch, and Jacob. Jacob has a decent his major record is quite good also. Another guy who, if there was actually points for second places, so to speak, Jacob would be much higher on this list.
If there's a bonus for it, yeah.
Yeah, because he has 10 top 5 finishes in majors. Jacob does. So that would be, I think most people would be somewhat surprised about that stat for Jacob to be that. One major, but 10 top 5. Then it's Dom, then it's Troop, Svensson, Patrick Allen, Parker Bone, Wes Malott, and PDW. Of this list, another thing that stuck out to me was Dom had 47 top 5 finishes, which seems an insanely large amount, considering that we don't really play that many tournaments, relatively speaking. He actually had the second most so far on this list behind Wes. Wes was at 50 top 5 finishes. But Wes managed
probably about to get higher.
What, for the top 10 guys?
Yeah.
Oh, no, for sure. I just, like I say,
it'll be interesting to see because we can't look it up anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of guys that can probably do the deep dives and the Wikipedia searches and whatever, but
I mean, Belmo's top 5 in majors is going to be insane.
There's a lot of them. EJ, as of late, is a lot of them. Simo seems to be bowling Belmo in all those.
Yeah. I mean,
Norm has $1 billion and Walter has $1 billion. And now Walter's, I don't know, they're spread out for so long that even though it's an insane number, I'm not sure how many of them are in the last 25 years because really it's only 15 years.
I think that anyway, just so anyway, that's the list. Of this, let me just see. Wes, Parker, PA, Troop. I think that's it. Just looking for player of the years. I think there aren't that many. Surprisingly, there aren't that many player of the years, just overall, because a lot of guys have won it multiple times.
Parker's got 3.
Who has?
He's got 1. Malott's got 1. And the really weird thing is PDW doesn't have any. And you could argue should have
3.
I think Parker's got 3.
Parker's got 2, I believe, but he's only got 1 counted in this scenario.
Really? Oh, yeah, because it was before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the players who are coming in for the 10 are these 10. So it is Rash, O'Neill, Simo, EJ, Belmo, Duke, Walter Ray, Mika, you, and TJ. Of that list, I think that it is fairly obvious for me anyway. 3 of those that are going to be definitely in the top 5, and 3 that are almost definitely going to be. Oh, I've messed it up again. Just sorry. It's just my OCD kicking in a little bit here. I just hate that full stop in the middle. Yeah. So, Rash, O'Neill, and Simo are almost guaranteed to be in the 6 through 10. And I believe that Belmo, EJ, I think Duke are all going to be in the top section. And then I think it's probably going to be Walter Ray and Mika from my guesses. You and Mika are very interesting because Mika has that extra player of the year, which is 15 points, which in this system is a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm fairly certain that Rash, O'Neill, and Simo will be in the bottom 3, and I'm fairly certain that EJ and Belmo will be the top 2.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how it goes because I think like Rash, TJ, and all are very. I mean, TJ has more titles than I do because.
Yeah, I think you're going to be somewhere around 17, and he's going to be 20.
Yeah.
But you have an extra major because TJ only has 2.
Yeah.
I just don't know that Rash is going to have the volume of shows to catch up.
Superman player year, there's one that aren't that winning anything. I tried really hard, but Norm stole that one. But I think Marshall Holman did, and that's the one year that they said that Pete should have. Pete should have won that year, but because it's a vote versus a. Yeah. For this, and in this, even better for him, it's 3. So.
Yeah, Chris has the best response to that. I think Simo, of all the people who are watching, you'll appreciate this the most. Chris's response is, "I'll let him have the extra title, and I'll take the extra million in earnings." That does make me laugh when he gets a little salty about it. So I enjoy that. Nothing better than a bit of a salty Barnes. But yeah,
I don't know that there's that many that agree with that, but I appreciate
that is the greatest. Somebody says Belmo, EJ, Walter Ray top 3, then TJ, Barnes, and Duke top 6. But I bet you liked it. And I think most people would do that trade.
And Simo, wave on the way by. All right. They look good in the trophy case. And as I get older now, some of those trophies are pretty important. But
I mean, let's be honest, right? A house is way more impressive than any trophy. So, yeah.
Anyway, fair. Marriages can take care of houses.
Yeah. So. All right. Back up off me here.
No. I wasn't talking about how you got yours. I'm talking about how Tommy's might have gotten a little smaller.
I got it.
Walter Ray, PDW. Whoop. Yeah, right. Yeah, well, you have 6 houses, so they'll be scattered everywhere. Walter A, PDW, Duke, Barnes, Ballard, Holman, Belmo, EJ, top 8 for life. Yeah, it should have been in the late 80s. Yeah, especially in 91. I think that sounds like that was the right year. And you know how much you have to be disliked for the players to vote for Holman at that time? It had to be an interesting time around the PBA tour back then. More weeks, guys were around each other a lot more, and the saltiness level when you have those 8-10 week swings on tour. We're about to find out this year.
Oh yeah,
You
10
boys,
in a row.
no weeks off. The irritation at what's going on for one group, and the guys that get under each other's skin not getting the chance to breathe. It could get fun.
LOH, a regular contributor. He says, let's just change it up for a minute. He says, looking for a ball to complement my Gremlin. It's been great in league when they're a little drier, but every now and again, they are tight to start and it's really inconsistent. 375, 50 miles an hour. I think that the perfect combination, perfect complement to that for you would be the new Viking. I was struggling with the name then, Chris. The Viking. I think that would be a good step above the Gremlin, but something that's like still a cleaner a ball, but like just a bigger, like earlier, like just more smooth.
Just a rounded shape to go with your sharper shape.
Yeah.
And it should handle that tighter
I
start. Hybrid Pearl in that range too, but those are my favorite two in that range.
Yeah. So I definitely see the Viking. I think it'll gap with the Gremlin pretty good as well. Like I think they won't be on top of each other very often. So yeah.
Representing the Flower Mound. Woo!
Hey Larry, nice to see you. Thank you.
We got about 7 area codes around here, so it's hard to pick, but I appreciate the research. The 972.
So, just getting back to this list, like just for idea's sake, Rash has 17 titles, I believe, 2 majors and a Player of the Year. O'Neill has 3 majors, 15 or 16 titles. Simo has like 5 or 6 majors, 15 titles. EJ has 7 majors, I think, now, but like 29 titles, maybe a lot. And he's got 4 Players of the Year. Belmo's got 7 Players of the Year, like 15 majors, 33 titles.
I think Walter has 4 in that range in that year.
Player of the Years.
Yeah. Or 3 in that range.
Yeah, I think 3. Duke has a Player of the Year. I think he has 5 majors in this range. And I think they both have like 20 something titles.
Yeah.
So still quite a lot. Mika has 3 majors, I believe. I think he's got a Masters, a US Open, and a TOC. And he's got 2 Player of the Years. You've got Triple Crown, a Player of the Year, and like 17 titles, I think. And then
for me,
yeah, I think 17. And then TJ's got 20 titles. He's got 2 majors, and he's got a Player of the Year. So
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna end up making the top 5. I think actually Simo has a swing at it. The only thing I'll hurt is he hasn't bowled for half of those years or more, and so the volume of shows might catch up.
Well, but here's the thing, right? If you look at the titles, you're 1 ahead of him, so that's like 5 points, right? He's like 2 majors ahead of you, but you've got a Player of the Year, so then that's a wash.
I gotcha.
So then it just becomes down to, I imagine that you and him probably aren't massively apart on major shows, because you made quite a lot of major shows, and he's made. Yeah. So that I would think that you two are fairly close.
Yeah.
But I would think on the total volume of shows, I think you'll be quite a bit ahead.
J 27-7.
Yeah.
It's Milo. Pete's not. Yeah, but it's from 2000 on, and
Yeah.
Pete's been bowling since. It
1980.
feels like he's been bowling the same time as Dick was bowling.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a bit like that whole thing with like Shaq's teammates. Like Shaq had like somebody that he'd played with had played with somebody like, and it went almost the entire NBA. Like it was
Shaq or
crazy.
LeBron. Yeah.
Huh?
Shaq or
Yeah.
LeBron.
Well, yeah. Well, Shaq played with LeBron, I think, the one time. So then that extended Shaq on because LeBron.
Anytime I want to really feel old, I go, Pete's 7 years older than me. And by the time I joined tour, he'd been on tour for 20 years.
Yeah, he was in the Hall of Fame already.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. It's a little bit like Tom Brady. He had a Hall of Fame career after he turned 40.
Yeah.
And like Norm is kind of the same way. Like a lot of people, there's a lot of people who, if they stop watch bowling in the end of the 90s, wouldn't think that Norm was that special, relatively speaking, because like him and Brian Voss had, like Brian Voss actually was slightly ahead of him, and then Norm from like this point now, it was just insane.
Norm in like 94, I think, won Player of the Year, and that was kind of I mean, he'd won some titles before then, but he had one title before Reactive, and then Reactive came out, and then he got serious about. He was enjoying the tour lifestyle a little bit for a while, and it's 30-some.
If you talk about longevity, it kind of is like.
Well, he won Player of the Year in
2009. The reason I know that is because it was my first year on tour. That's the only reason why I know for sure.
So my Player of the Year didn't count for you because you weren't there.
Didn't count, no.
Right.
No, I mean, this is where I give the. Yeah, I mean, I was in high school. I was watching it on the couch. But yeah, I just
Walter basing in a 10-year period, 2000 2010, probably qualified for this list only on that. Not that much happened after that, but
Machuga said, "Norm ain't that good. Dude actually thinks if you solid 8, you ain't lined up." Yeah, he's nuts. But
that's a different level of psychosis.
I think the point I was trying to make is, and people can clip that, but my point was that like there's a bunch of people who bowl who don't realize that Brian Voss was brilliant.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of people who think that Norm was like miles better than Walter Ray because they just started watching at a point where Walter was on the decline, and Duke's superpower was once he was older, he was incredible. It's kind of a little bit the same with Pete as well. Like he had those majors where it was just like he led the TOC the one year at Indy, like 2013 or something. He was like 52 or something. And it's just like, how on earth is he doing this?
Well, he beat Fagan, the one year at the US Open, an incredible match. And, it just, the whole rev rate thing had done a little bit of what it done now, or like the average rev rate went to Tommy. Didn't go that, but the majority of the field was closer to 475 than 400, and all of a sudden everybody was kind of left behind, and he got figured out. He got on the wagon and was sober for a while, and holy cow, oh, he's still in there. Whoa. And he went on this incredible run again.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Norm, Walter Ray, and Pete, just like they're just not normal. Like playing for that long.
And Norm really leaned into what he was great at, and even though he won a Player of the Year hooking the whole lane, he just leaned into the fact that what his superpowers really were, including on TV, and then his win percentage on TV went way up, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the same with Walter Ray as well. Like if you listen to a bunch of the guys, they said when Walter first came out on tour, he just wanted to hook it all the time.
Yeah, and he went like 4 years without winning.
He just said,
and he made a bunch of shows and did all this stuff, and then he's like, "Yeah, I think Bakes actually said it once. That he was working together. Bakes was a track rep for about 5 minutes, and Walter, in his mind, was struggling. He goes, "I just throw it straight, and when I'm throwing it good and I throw it straight, my bad shots get 9. I mean, not that they leave the 2-pin, like they still hit the pocket. They just flat 10,
yeah,
mostly, and so then he just got to where he only played straight on the show. So when I thought it was just red ball and 5. I thought that's all he ever did. And we tell the story. We went to the car wash up in Rochester, New York, the split-sided center with 6 different bays. And it's the night, and Walter's like 4th or 5th, and and it's all the guys hooking it because it's an old beat-up surface, and Walter's gonna have a hard time. They didn't rerun them in between. Everybody's locked and left gutter cap, and by the end of the night, Walter was leading, and had run down Mike Miller and Hoskins and Himmler and all the guys that like to hook it, and he was in loft and left gutter cap playing 27, and he beat them all like a drum. And that was my aha. Oh, he makes it from everywhere. He just gets on the show and then plays straighter because his miss is not really a miss.
Yeah. I mean, Eli says, hot take, Norm, I feel, was definitely still good enough to bowl on tour. I think the problem is once you get to a certain point, you have expectations. And once you start getting beat by people, you just kind of get a little frustrated with it. And I think Norm saw the writing on the wall with him being older and the disparity between rev rate and shot making just being like it's not comparable. It doesn't matter how well you bowl. Yeah.
Fridays. That's what everybody used to say. Again, we ran them once a day, and we bowl in the morning. You bowl AB, and the next day BA, and then you bowl a match play round. And then Friday morning, you only had, one on a lane. And he would go play out, and everyone's like, "Oh, they did him for Walter. He's out playing the gutter." And then we started bowling match play. And then you figured out that it was always there. It just went away in 2 games in qualifying. And then once you got on your own pair, especially when the rest of the field was playing 15, it stayed there a long time.
Right? Like I say, the only slight, and I mean it's slight, and I mean I feel like it did Dom a little dirty. I feel like there isn't enough difference between a major and a standard title on this list. Like, I think the majors are more important. So that's the one thing. And then the other thing as well was the fact that like a doubles title is the 2/3 of a major, which I understand isn't really a huge difference on the list, but like that's not necessarily
I don't think this is going to age well for me. For how successful he was pre-50, Walter may have had the worst post-50 career of any player of his caliber on the regular tour. He won Player of the Year at 50.
Which Norm and Pete didn't.
No one has ever. I don't know that. I mean, Norm's post-50 career is great, and Pete had some good years, but I think Walter's it's probably not better than Norm's, but it's probably better than Pete's. And I'm not really looking to talk about mine. So,
this is the other thing as well. Like, everybody talks about, like Simo, like, because Simo's uber talented, right?
Ugh.
Walter Ray's absolutely insane. He's started doing videos where he's decided to teach himself how to bowl left-handed. Like, he bowls 2-handed on tour. Like, I understand that he hasn't been like massively successful at it.
He has multiple 300s in tournament competition throwing it 2-handed.
Yeah. And the fact that
he does it so little, it is crazy how good he is at it.
Yeah. and now he's just decided that he's bored. Bearing in mind that he won the horseshoes. I believe he won a horseshoe championship right-handed and left-handed world championship.
I don't think he won it right-handed, but he does pitch both ways. And at his best, I believe he was 92 or 93% right-handed.
Yeah.
And I think he's 87% or something like that in a major competition left-handed.
Which is just madness.
For a guy who looks like he should be teaching a class at Berkeley, his competitive spirit and how much he wants, he will drive 3 hours to go bowl a 9-pin no-tap sweeper just so he can bowl in something. He bowls all the time, which is, now we're getting into the point of why his body's finally breaking down. But there's just no days off. It's
I think this is a fair point. Yeah, he said, to be fair, if Dom's titles aren't majors, his standard titles are overseas. Yeah, but they're not doubles titles.
Right.
He didn't have someone help him win it. So, and I understand that only affects like 3 people on the list or whatever.
Yo, Buff. Yeah. No, I mean, that's kind of what bowlers have always done. They have a hard time with, but I think here, at least I'm here to celebrate not Tommy, but everyone else who's better than I am.
Yeah, I don't think this is at all about
no
knocking them or anything. I think it's just interesting to look at like some of these numbers and like, like,
now like this list that's going by, how many guys would you rate differently if it was just your opinion versus a purely objective stat?
Well, there'd probably be about 6 of them wouldn't be on the list because they're left-handed.
So where will I predict Ryan will be on this list? I think it's going to take longer than 10.
Sorry, I was only doing that for a comedy effect. I remember a significant voice in the bowling industry opening the 50 greatest of all time. Ian Earl was one, and saying that was one too many lefties in the that was one more lefty than should be in the top 50.
Well, that woke the chat up.
Oh dear, I'm glad. I think this is the best that these were back-to-back comments. My man Mika, my buddy Simonelli. PA is on the list. Yeah. I room with PA. PA is probably the most person who'd say, "Bro, I should be on that list."
Yeah, and I would argue they probably should have been higher.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like we're debating like the best 25 bowlers of the last 25 years,
right? So
being like 14 on the list isn't exactly like offensive.
No,
no. A couple of things that did surprise me. I was a little surprised that Jacob had that many top 5 finishes in majors. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's got under the radar a little bit.
To be fair, half of them are USBC events. That helps.
Yeah, but 40% of the majors are USBC events.
That's what I mean.
So
well, that's about 80% of his finals.
Yeah. No,
they have a track record.
Yeah. I mean, Simonelli had 8 top 5s in majors as well. A lot of those,
and the most impressive one of them all.
Yes, his
US Open, where he led and won, and no other lefty made the top 24. That's a whoa.
This says 2015 was Simonelli's best year of his career. He made 3 major finals and finished a narrow runner-up to Belmo for Player of the Year.
Patrick Allen.
Patrick Allen. Sorry. I didn't want to put Allen because then that was thingy, and then
yeah.
I wouldn't. Another one, I wouldn't necessarily have imagined that Marshall was in the top 25 because of such a roller coaster. And I don't, in my mind, I don't think about him being on tour long enough to have rode the roller coaster enough times, but like fair play to him.
Yeah, I think it does go under the radar a little bit of how good Wes was at his best.
Yeah.
Too. I think it's easy to, anyway, I get,
I mean, for a short career, Rhino was
really good.
Rhino was pretty clutch as well. Nine top fives in majors. So yeah, I mean, on this list, I mean, Scroggins has 7 titles on this list. Couch has 9 titles, so he's he's about 6 or 7 short of his career total.
Right. That's one of the reasons why he's in the middle versus towards the top. Parker's got a bunch before then too. Hey Chris, I got a question. When you came on tour, you were considered the next Tiger Woods. I said that's nice revisionist history. I wasn't even considered I was like 3rd in my class on the pre-rankings.
I was about to say you were also about 10 years older than Tiger Woods when he came out.
Yeah, I was 28 for one. Yeah. Robert Smith came out the same time I did, and by all accounts, most people, he had the higher ceiling. Robert Smith and I were both with Storm, and as a matter of fact, they didn't want to pay both of us to go on tour, so they paid him, and that's how I ended up on Brunswick. And then Jowdy had anointed Healy as the best of the incoming class. That was Sean Swanson and Paul Fleming. I think Kretzer was in front of us, and Mika was a year behind us. Kretzer might have been a year behind as well. Angelo might have been in our class as well. I mean, we had it was the first bump in a while where he had a bunch of the amateur guys go ahead and decide to go. And the expectations were more about myself and what I want to do. I'd bowled enough stops. I didn't have unrealistic expectations of how I was going to go out and handle Dave Houston and Mike Albee and Voss and Duke and Walter and Parker and Couch and Ricky Ward and Randy. Like, the Brunswick staff had 12 guys on it. 10 of them were Hall of Famers, and Mike Miller and I. So, yeah, I didn't really. I had expectations for myself. I wanted to win, before my 2-year contract was up, so I could stay out there, basically.
Yeah, one thing I need to clarify. I said that Malott had the most top 5 finishes in the majors of the group. He doesn't. Pete is miles ahead.
Oh yeah,
he's actually 18 top 5 finishes
in that round, in that range.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Like all of his shows are all majors.
Yeah, he's got 36 standard and then additionally 18 majors. So,
there you go. All right.
Yeah.
So those guys both came out way later. Fagan, he just didn't bowl a lot of it. He had 5 titles, I think, when he quit. But he'd been out there. He was out there for 10 of the years. He just didn't end up with the volume because he didn't keep bowling. He looked at the overall and went, as opposed to most of the guys on tour, I have options. I have a degree from St. John's already. He went back, got his master's in finance, and worked for the casinos, and now owns some bowling centers. Has been in a couple different deals there, and I think he took a hard look at being 32 and having titles and what he'd won and where it was headed, and decided he didn't want to be 40 and joining the workforce. I
think looking at this, he would have been right behind Prather, though.
Yeah, I shocked he didn't still make it, but
yeah,
it's just volume. purely just as
well,
a goal.
also he's not a member, so he might not have been considered.
Well, that's also could be too.
Yeah,
It's
but
close.
yeah, because Prather has 6 titles and with 2 majors, which I think is right around the same as Fagan. So I would imagine their points are quite similar.
Not a bad question. How big is pay factor involved with PBA players deciding which company to join staff? Depends on how big the gap is.
I think it's quite significant.
Yeah, because lots of times what you get from a company can be a significant portion of what you make on tour.
I also think it's a
It also depends on how big the gap is between companies and equipment too.
yeah, I think that right now I don't think there's as big a gap as there was at some points in history. Like before, like I mean, I felt like most people thought the Storm had a pretty big advantage, so they didn't necessarily, need to make qualifying offers that were quite as large.
Yeah, that was definitely a 15-year run where I think it was acknowledged that
that you had a pretty big advantage. I remember a certain Hall of Famer who will remain nameless telling me that at the World Series in about 2013, he says, I'll give you $100 for the worst ball in your bag. So yeah. Yeah.
Was that the Marvel Pearl year?
It was around that time, yeah.
Yeah. There's 40 of them going on the lane.
Yeah.
I think that it should be on the list based on the eye test if they got in a breaker here. No, I don't think it's all about stats. I do think timing can be everything. If you're not great at doing everything, like now is a pretty lousy time to be on tour if you're a pretty good straight player.
I think if you're a pretty good one-hander, it's a lousy time to be on tour, to be perfectly honest. If this was done 20 years ago, like in 2020,
yeah.
I mean, so many of these players have got so much in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And I understand
all the younger guys are going to get their stats there versus before.
Yeah, but it's literally 90% of the players are two-handed players who have added to this list.
True.
So I mean, and that's, I mean, in history there'll be times when you had to be left-handed.
Yeah.
Sure,
12 TV shows. I don't know. I don't think so. But ironically, that was in '99. Or no, it wasn't. It was 2001.
I think Mark Roth probably gave him a run for his money because didn't he have one of those?
He won like 8 times in a year, so I'm guessing he probably did. He had a few more tries at it.
And didn't he have some insane record where he made like 56 top 24s in a row or something ridiculous?
Yeah,
they're just Johnny Petragula is who we should have had on for this to talk about, some of the players who didn't make this list and some of the absurd things they did.
Yeah, Johnny's really good because of the timing, but yeah, Roth was the one that had when there's 160 people in the field every week. There's no bowling okay and just running the field over every week.
And Daniel says, I remember Dory saying he would have stayed with SPI if they'd have paid him the same as Hammer's offer. Yeah, and I mean, I think it's worked out okay for him. I don't think he necessarily regrets that change. I think it hasn't worked out okay for some other guys. And sometimes it's about respect and where you see yourself, where they see you in the pecking order when you have those conversations.
Yeah. Relationships have a lot to do with these things.
And it's I'm sure it isn't always money, but money is always the thing that ends up letting you know where you sit, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm sure Russo in a different world, in a different conversation, probably wouldn't have changed, but I'm sure that motive made him feel way more valued than Brunswick did. So that's why he changed.
Yeah, when I first went on tour, Storm wasn't really in the tour game. They had Pete, but they didn't really. They liked being the bowlers company and the grassroots stuff around the world, and they didn't really want to invest a ton on the tour side. And so the offer was pretty small. Columbia's offer was pretty small. AMF had the biggest offer of all, but they had Am Force 1, 2, 3, and 4. That was their balls. And I'm like, I'd bowled enough by then to understand that I wasn't better than the equipment or the lane man.
Weren't they all shiny as well?
No, but
Oh,
I don't know if
yeah.
it would have helped.
Okay, I thought that was one of those things where they Tommy would have had a nightmare because they were all almost the same color as well, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I couldn't pick them apart.
For those who don't know, Tommy Jones is colorblind.
Yeah, so in the little article about for some reason that he and I wore brightly colored pants, only one of us knew it. If Brunswick made the next best offer, and I knew their equipment was good because the whole Hall of Fame was on their staff, and they were bowling good all the time with Walter and Parker and Boss, and so that's where I went. So, how would you determine between the clean, smooth, symmetricals, Phase 2 Pearl, Ember, Rockstar, Amped, and Zen 25 for an arsenal? Would two of them fit in a large arsenal? It's a good question.
I think two could fit as long as one of them was the Ember.
It's the most different of the bunch, probably.
Yeah. It's got a little bit less diff.
Touch higher RG as well. The other three are very similar cores.
I think that from what I've seen anyway, I think Zen 25 is cleaner than the Rockstar Amped and the Phase 2. But I think a little rounder than those two. For me, anyway.
I think those two are just awfully too close to have in the same bag.
What, Zen 25 and
they're both clean and they're both.
Yeah. I was just kind of like
the Phase 2 is a little stronger overall. I just think it hooks a little more overall.
Yes, and then for me, the Rockstar Amped is the earliest of the four balls. I think that if you find yourself using balls like that, I think that Phase 2 and Ember are probably the two that make the most sense to have, because I think that they're probably the most separation. But you would have to be using that part of the bag.
I'm taking the Amped out tonight to give it another go.
I actually shot 260 with it yesterday during the lesson that I gave the guy. So, I still I'm a little confused by it, but that's kind of where I would fit. I think it's possible to have both, but certainly not in six balls.
No, probably not. Any disadvantage? I think there's one. EJ is able to get the ball to pick up sooner. It's kind of a niche thing. But when you have wet dry, which we don't have so much on tour, the ability to roll it into it is trickier. And
I think there's one disadvantage that I've chatted with Ryan about, but I have no interest in talking to the other two-handers about it.
Fair.
But I think if you look at the stats, spares.
Yeah.
Like
way harder to shoot spares.
Like the guys who are good at it are still good, but the guys who are bad are horrific.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, if you can't control your rotation basically perfectly, 450 RPMs is, you can knock down 5 1/4 down to 450. It's not going much below that. And if your miss is a little over the top, and now all of a sudden your rotation went from being 15 or 20 degrees to 35, it's going to hook.
I mean,
some weeks especially.
I mean, Santu was less than 90% on single pins.
Yeah, and
that
is certainly the yeah, it's a good call. Yeah, Hutch tells a story about Roth and Charlie Tapp, and they'd be working out before the block, and Mark would watch him sitting over in the corner room, and Hutch is an old military guy, and he's doing push-ups, and he's doing sit-ups, and he's lathered up, and he's He is sweating up here, and Roth is sitting over in the corner of the room. He's got a cup of coffee, a little plastic one from the lobby. He's smoking a cigarette and got a donut in the other hand. Hey, do a couple of those for me too, would you? And then Roth would go, lead another tournament. Hutch is just grinding out, just working his tail off.
That's funny. Yeah. So anyway, let's round this off a little bit. So for this 10, I am going to go. I'm going to go Belmo, EJ, Duke, Walter Ray. I can't decide between you and Mika. 15 points is a lot to make up, but I feel like you made a lot more shows.
TJ's not ahead of me?
No.
Yeah, I haven't done any of the points, so.
No, I'm just in my mind anyway.
Okay.
I'm like, I think that the thing with TJ is like he had such an amazing
his TV record's really good.
6 or 7 years where he was just like but this is 25 years and you were out there the whole time and you were like for 17 of those years you were like he was maybe like a 9.7 when he was good. At his apex.
Yeah.
But then his non-apex was like a 6.8, whereas yours was like a constant 8, if that kind of makes sense. Like you maybe went up a little bit, but it wasn't like you didn't have those spikes the same as he did. So that's why I think that it's that way. So I'm going to go.
My humble brag that I didn't, not so humble brag, was when Baker said I was in the top 8 in money for 15 years in a row.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's a lot. So there we go. I'm going to go Belmo, EJ, Duke, Walter Ray, you, Mika, Simo, TJ, Rash, O'Neal.
Yeah, I think Belmo is definitely the top.
EJ he has to be because he's got 7 players of the year.
Right. I think EJ
and
with
15 majors.
EJ's probably second.
Yeah, because he's got 4 players. Because, for example, Belmo has over 100 points there. Yeah, 105 points just in Player of the Years before you even start counting his majors.
Yeah, I don't know that Player of the Year should have any relevance here because it's a double dip. Almost no one has won a Player of the Year without winning a major. It's an anomaly especially these days, because we have so many tournaments. But
are you doing that off your opinion or off the points? Because I don't think there's any way that Walter Ray is going to be ahead of EJ.
It's a fair ranking.
Sorry,
and he has himself at 9th. That's that
yeah.
feels
And
like
I don't think that you can be that low either with 2 Players of the Year.
Yeah, you do have 2 Player of the Years, right?
Yeah, Mika. Yeah, he won like 2002, maybe 2003, and then he won the 250K year. So that's a lot. That's that's an extra 2 majors.
Hey, real quick, Lucas, you say Pin Down Amped has been great for you. Did you knock the surface off, or you keep the surface shiny? Thanks.
So yeah, let me know, Mika. Is that your opinion, or is that where you see the points ending up? Because I'm not sure I can have Rash above you.
So might be
actual. Hey, I was about to say it's Finglish math.
Finglish? No. He's math is only one language, so he's good at that one.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see
how many of you guys want to see Mika on the list? Be as brutal as you want in the comments, please.
Oh, that's what you think it should be.
That's what he thinks it will be. All right.
Okay. That's what you think it will be. Yeah, I don't think there's any way you're 9.
So almost no one's won POI without him. Technically, you did, except with the TOC, which is a major. So,
Yeah, what? I do. It is one of my favorite things in the whole world that Chris has spent his whole life moaning about sweeper titles counting, and he won the Triple Crown with a major where he bowled about 12 games.
Yeah. Led the TOC 3 times, got beat every time. I led the Masters 3 times, got beat every time. Then won the TOC when it was best of 5, and I bowled about 13 games for it. So, whatever. Oh, okay. So I didn't win the TOC. So
Did you win the US Open the year you were Player of the Year?
no, I won an 08. So yeah, I didn't win a major that year. All right, I just won the rest. No, I didn't win that much. I probably only won once, maybe twice. I only have a couple of years where I won one. I must have made a bunch of shows, and I had probably had a bunch of seconds in majors. That year we had a point system. It wasn't a vote.
Man, that was good for you. Didn't have to play in a popularity contest.
Yeah, I was probably close to the same range as Marshall and PE on that popularity contest. So, although it would have been Walter was second, so I he wasn't a fan favorite by then either, although he hadn't done anything to anybody. Mika top 10 easily. Ah, okay.
Norm beat Mika by sparing the bucket in 08, the year Chris won Player of the Year. Chris didn't win the Player of the Year in 08.
Yeah, it did.
Didn't you win in 06?
No, I think that was Tommy. Yeah, I appreciate
it. Daniel, respectfully, he clearly is because this is done on points.
Yeah.
So being as he hasn't appeared yet, therefore he is in the top 10.
There's not too many guys that have won 2 Player of the Years in an era when there was still a bunch of Hall of Famers that were active, meaning in their 30s, not just playing out the string. I don't know. Yeah. So,
yeah, I mean,
all right. Maybe we'll have. Hey, Mika, you want to come on Tuesday? We can chat about your opinions on this. Maybe we can get a little panel going. It's been a while since we had just a chaos-ridden show.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I just it beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I think that the European guys and the non-American guys who aren't necessarily fans are going to have a totally different opinion and that's why they did it via numbers rather than opinion.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I mean he's entitled to his opinion. And it's tough if you're a fan the last 10 years. Mika didn't bowl the last 10 years.
Yeah, I was about to say he's entitled
to be fair,
wrong.
If you only watch TV, neither did I. So,
like Chris, like I say, my favorite, you're entitled to an opinion and you're entitled to be wrong.
Yeah, I got told that just last night. And it was in my house.
Okay, yeah, the list, real quick. The list was the last 25 years on the PBA tour. 1 point for a top 5 finish in a standard event, 2 points for a top 5 finish in a major, 5 points per standard title, 7.5 points per major title, and 15 points per Player of the Year award. Scrolling below is the list that's been revealed. We were thinking they're going to release the end list on Tuesday. Is the thoughts. But anyway, the people who are left to be revealed are these guys. the reason we know this is because they're not on the list now, and they clearly all have resumes that make that obvious. So
Mika still shows up and averages 250. Who else on this list does that over the age of 40? Well, Belmo does every week. So I don't know.
yeah. Yeah,
That's
Belmo
untrue.
averages almost 230 for his entire career. That feels like that should have been another like point.
Oh, if you were
Like,
the high average or something of the year kind of thing.
yeah. Well, not even a high average of the year, just lifetime PBA average. Belmos must be insanely ahead of everybody else.
But Parker's on the top 10 because a lot of his wins are before 2000. This is 2000, 2025.
Yeah.
No, Dan, you're fine. I did ask for your opinion.
I think he's turned to me.
Oh, I think he's talking to me. I'm the one that names them all wrong, right?
No.
No.
No,
You're good, Danny. You're like I think there's a lot of people that will have the list. I would have had a bunch of these people differently, but recency bias and those kind of things. But stats are stats, and so I'm actually glad. I thought it was just an opinion piece by Nolan, which he's 25.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he wasn't born when these guys were bowling this thing. So I didn't really know how he was coming up with the list when our historical stats are so hard to find. But I'm glad he found a way to do it.
And that's the thing. It's like they could have done the points slightly differently. I'm the one who weighs like 50 pounds more. That's usually the way you can tell the difference. Chris is also the one who's got a big trophy cabinet. That's another pretty significant difference.
You've asked this a couple times, Henry. I'm sorry. I think the Cove is a good option if you're, a little bit softer speed, and just drill it a little bit. I would drill it pin down and polish it.
Yeah, take the surface up a little bit.
All of the ones I've seen real good all have shine. But yeah, you can drill it pin down. You don't have to drill it. You don't have to do super weak or anything, and it'll still should blend fine.
Well, let's have a look. Parker has they have him as 10 standard titles and 3 majors, so he's only got 13 titles, and I believe Parker's got 35 titles.
It's 30 and change, so
he's
more than 20 of them
20 titles.
Okay,
that's I mean, it's the same with Pete. I mean, Pete's got 9. He's got 13 titles, and what's Pete got? 37 titles.
Sounds right.
Yeah, so he's lost 24 titles as well. So, yeah. I mean, and I'm sure if you wanted to, I just think it's difficult for Nolan. I think Nolan wanted to blend the bowlers who are currently bowling to see them in a historical point, and it's very difficult because outside of like 4 or 5 guys, the people who are watching bowling now who are younger, they're not going to have really seen
there's a delineation in the sport right now.
Yeah.
As of 10 years ago, it has moved from one thing to quickly becoming a majority of another. From a power standpoint, we had in the 2000s, you had a bunch of basically straighter players win Player of the Years, and that like from the time resin came out, it actually went the other way. It went to a lot of straighter players, and then here recently, it's gone back pretty exclusive the other way.
I think what's interesting about this list, just really quickly before we wrap this up, what I find a little interesting about this list is that the top 5 there, the top 10 there, you could argue that three of them, like you could take 3 who barely played against the other 3,
right?
And then the 4 kind of like Rash, O'Neill, Mika, Barnes, and Tommy kind of played around a bunch of the same times. Rash and O'Neal, obviously the back part of that. And then Duke and Walter Ray, I bet barely entered a tournament with EJ. Certainly not when they were like expecting to come out and win. And then like the majority of Belmo's career is, somewhat after Mika, you, and Tommy were at your peaks.
Yeah.
So that's where it's kind of blended the list nicely. You've got, Simon and EJ have literally never bowled, like barely ever bowled against.
Yeah, I would count my career basically at back surgery. I stopped collecting much of anything important after 2015. And,
yeah.
And Miko just got done with an 8-year stint in UAE, so that means 2016 or so, 17.
And like Tommy has been, Tommy has just been like chugging along really for the last, probably about the same amount of time, where he's had some higher highs, but it hasn't been like he was. Like
or he's every week guy that literally.
Yeah. It's just difficult because Simo, EJ, and Belmo have become the every week guys for a long time. Whereas before there was like 5 or 6 of those every week type of guys.
Yeah, there you go.
And then Simonelli said 2016 really for me too, but the only thing hurt is my ego. Hey, we've all been there, mate.
Yeah. I thought I was healthy too, but instead I just keep getting pummeled. So,
yeah.
The results disagree.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like Duke won back-to-back weeks, like not that long ago.
Right. 4 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah. My point was, in Belmo's career, Duke, right at the start of Belmo's career, was when Duke was like, I could win every tournament I enter every week.
Yeah.
And from that point,
Duke's 60 and change.
Yeah.
Like, this say, okay, he bowled great longer than most, but past 40, how many get better after 40?
Yeah, outside of Tom Doherty.
No, Tom has, but
yeah,
but neither one of those guys are playing at.
They weren't. Yeah,
they're not player of the year, top 5 on tour every year, guys. Like that.
And before someone gets shitty about it, that isn't even like an insult. Like we're talking like the cream of the crop. Like, yeah.
Now this is this is the guy we all wanted to be, was Rick Steelsmith, around me, but he was such a short run. It's so hard to say, but Bowler's Journal had him and Amleto as predicted as being the bowler of the 90s. Back when you did those time capsule things all the time, he was supposed to be the next guy. So, it has to be. Can't imagine. But there's a lot of guys that are supposed to be the next guy, too. But he was different, in my opinion. So, anyway, appreciate you guys coming on. And it sounds like we will have our favorite English world coach / Hall of Famer / top 10 in the last 25 years here, and we'll find out if he is on that list or if his name will be called or if it's going to be in the top 5. I think we have an argument for both, and I think it's really close. So,
bit of interesting trivia. He said his last title was against Simo, and I believe it was the week before that he beat Belmo. 2019.
Wow.
So, yeah, not in any way saying that Norm wasn't competitive. I'm just
he had weeks. He had weeks that just went not from every.
Well, they were both the dual pattern thing.
Yeah,
and that
was the last time where I made multiple shows in the same.
Oh boy, this is if Kayla's tuning in, it's definitely time to end the show. Trouble follows you, Kayla. Even if you're not trying to make it, trouble follows you.
Do I think I'm higher on the? Well, not on this list because
I mean,
maybe
yeah.
I might have been better by the time I got to 2000 versus just kind of still figuring
It's
it out.
I'll be honest, it's hard to believe that in a different universe, yeah, I'd probably deserve that. In a different universe, you could have a much better career than you had, though, Chris. Being fair,
Maybe.
I mean,
I might have gone out at 23 years old and been an absolute psychopath and been burned out and done by 25 or 6. So, I mean, there's all kinds of things that can
hey,
happen.
if I give Chris back like 7 shots in his whole life, he could be really high on this list. Oh dear.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I try not to do that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, but I mean, if
Yeah.
we're in the ifs and buts and
Yeah.
candy and nuts.
If my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bicycle.
Yes, exactly. Well, I'm glad we made this little trip down memory lane. We got to see some of the people who watch a lot. Daniel, looking at you. You
Yeah.
watch a lot of stuff. It was, like I say, it's fun. I think it was a really good article by Nolan. I think it was something that took some time and care to put together. So shout out to him.
In an era where we're kind of just disregarding stats and history, it is nice to see a little bit of it.
About the only place you ever actually see history of the game is at the Open Championships.
Yeah, true.
It'd
be interesting to see a list of maybe every year, every player's best. What would you say? 10 years, 12 years?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of a reasonable career.
Like apex, so
yeah, like your best 12 years. Okay, what's your best 12 years? And then compare that to eras. That would be interesting.
I think it'd be kind of fun doing the best 5 years and seeing how many times Belmo could appear.
Yeah, I do the thing, yeah. Yeah, him and Walter would just dominate the list, I think. I'm not sure it'd be very much fun. Roth sprinkled in there a few times, Earl a few times, and then the rest of us just kind of going.
And then TJ, of course.
That was cute.
10 titles in like 4 years. That's
10 titles in 10 titles like 2 years, 2.5.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's a pretty good run too.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Thanks. Apparently, we will have some more guys, and maybe we'll go down, of course, a much different path. So, wherever you guys lead us, appreciate you guys being the best fans of the sport. And until next time, please support the sponsors that support us: Storm, Rotogrip, Niner Global, Coolwick, Bowlers Mart, Fire Lake Bowling Center, Lightning Strikes, and of course, Platinum Ford. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. God bless.
See you later.